Welcome to the Josh and Ethan show, everybody. I don't know why we did that in sync, but that was cool.
We're back again. I know it's been another break, not quite as long as the last one.
No, but this is a very special episode. I don't know if you can tell by the music or by this beautiful poster right here. But we are a day away from seeing Star Wars.
We are.
Arguably my favorite... No, not arguably. My favorite series of movies of all time.
It's beautiful. It's
and today we figured we'd give you guys a glimpse into our feelings towards Star Wars, particularly in the form of a debate, because this man over here is wrong in the assumption that the prequels are better.
The prequels than
the original trilogy.
I am the only man in the world. I'm sure there's probably one other internet troll who actually genuinely feels that the prequels are superior to the original Star Wars films. Todd is not that guy. So I guess... How should we start this off?
Well, I'll start off by saying we spent the past day rewatching the Star Wars movies. Yesterday we were at your house and we watched episodes 1 through 3. And today, right after this, we're going to be finishing up with 4 through 6.
Yep.
And first off, I want to start off by saying I haven't seen the prequels in a long time. I think the last time I saw one of the prequels was maybe 4 years ago, right? And it was Revenge of the Sith.
The best
which is,
prequel.
Best prequel by far. I'll even say that. Best prequel. But rewatching the 3, I remembered disliking Attack of the Clones more than I did last night. Like, for some reason, Attack of the Clones...
Wasn't as bad this time?
Yeah, it wasn't as bad. And I think it's because that last 30 minutes in Attack of the Clones really kind of makes up for the hour and a half beforehand.
Oh, does it?
And it does. I the battle and stuff and seeing the clones, if they had more of that in the movie, that would have been great. But I liked it a lot more than I remembered liking it. In contrast to that, Phantom Menace, for some reason I held it in higher regard. No, it sucks. It's definitely the worst of all the Star Wars. And I think it just has a lot to do with pacing. And just acting in general.
And
the best actor in that movie is by far Liam Neeson, and they kill him off. Second would be Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan, who, in my opinion, is the best part of the prequels, is Obi-Wan. I think Ewan McGregor does a really good job of really bringing that character that Alec Guinness played to life.
Because Alec Guinness, his character saw, how much screen time in the original films? It was, nothing.
Yeah.
You actually cared about Obi-Wan.
But anyway.
See, that's... If someone had watched episodes 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, 5, and 6, they would care about Obi-Wan way more.
Yeah, that's understandable, yeah.
Because the prequels are better.
Yeah. Alright, so let's get into what your main argument is here.
Alright. So, my favorite, or... I don't know if I should say my favorite, but to me the most powerful argument for the prequels being the superior movie is the fact that Luke is... in my opinion, the very definition of a one-dimensional character.
Okay.
There's no depth to Luke Skywalker.
All right.
It's terrible. It's actually no character in the originals has any kind of depth to their character, with the exception of Han. That's it. That's the only character who you see more than one personality
Really, because
trait from.
Harrison Ford would actually disagree with you.
Would he?
Yeah, I think he's gone on record saying that the reason he didn't want to replay Han Solo for the longest time is because he didn't think Han Solo had any depth compared to the other characters. He thought he was very one-dimensional. He was just a rogue,
quite the opposite,
who did really nothing. And I love Han Solo, but he's right. I think he's right, and that's part of the reason he signed on to do the new movie is because when he read the script, they gave him more to do. I think he was multi-dimensional, as you would say.
See, I see it the other way.
But okay. Here's my thing. Anakin, as a character, in theory, had the potential to be much better than Luke.
Because he is a better character.
Because in theory, on a page, yeah. Not necessarily with the dialogue they gave him, but just the whole idea of Chosen One falling to the dark side is a arguably better story. However,
it's not just arguably a better story. It is a better story.
Sure. But the fact that they messed it up that badly just furthers my point that they suck. Okay,
but you see, I don't see.
It's like they gave them this great story that they did nothing with.
It just fell through.
They just shat all over it. And I love Star Wars.
Leave Hayden Christensen alone.
Oh my god.
I don't understand why everyone hates Hayden Christensen.
Do you know the reason people hate Hayden Christensen?
Why?
Is because
Why?
of the sand.
It's coarse, and it gets everywhere.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
But that kind of, if you are willing to read into things without them actually being presented to you, is a good argument for why he never looks for anyone on... he never looks for Ben on Tatooine. Because it's sandy, and it gets everywhere, and he doesn't like the sand.
Oh, Jesus, Josh, come on.
What? That's still Anakin, although... I mean, if you've
I'm
seen
not going to
the
blame
episode-
him because I feel like it's
Oh, it's Jar Jar's fault?
No,
we can blame Jar Jar for the
we can't
prequels.
blame. No, it's. I think it's 10 years too late, and like I don't think anybody cares about our opinion. I will say though, I think it's more so just a directorial
Yeah, what is
choice.
Hayden Christensen doing nowadays?
I don't know. I don't care. Anyways, but
I care, Hayden.
I get what you mean when it comes to, in theory, being a better story.
I'm sure that the novelizations of Star Wars, which I haven't read any of them, are superior to the movies probably, because 9 out of 10 times the book is better than the movie, although it was written in reverse order.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Whatever.
Maybe. Either way, I'm sure that if they were both novels before they were books, everyone would love the prequels.
If they were
more.
both novels before they were books.
I mean, novels before they were movies. Everyone would love the prequels more than...
Again, but it
original.
also has to do with just dialogue in general. Like, again, story-wise, if you pitch this story to me, I would say, yeah, that sounds like a cool adventure story.
Because Jesus turning out to be Satan is way better than just
Farm boy who saves the
one-dimensional.
galaxy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not one-dimensional though.
He's never a bad character. He's never evil.
He's never evil.
He's just benevolent the whole way
but
through.
does having an evil side to you necessarily mean that you're it does mean you're multidimensional, but that's not the only way to be multidimensional. Like
Luke didn't find another way to be multidimensional.
Luke started out wanting to join the Empire. He there's a whole scene where he
he talks about wanting to join the Rebel Alliance.
No,
not the
doesn't
Empire.
he says that he wants to go to the Academy.
Huh?
He says he wants to go to the Academy.
No, it's about joining the Rebels. That's why when he sees what's the guy he sees at the end of Hope on Yavin.
Maybe I misread that. Maybe Academy
you did.
to me.
Did you really think he wanted to join the Empire?
No. Well, Han was originally in the Empire.
Well, yeah, but that's expanded universe. That doesn't...
Does it not count anymore?
I don't think it's.
Does it not count? Does it not count?
No, it doesn't count anymore. Unless, was that in Clone Wars? No.
I don't know. All I know is I haven't seen the movies in a long time. We probably should have done this after we watched.
I haven't seen.
But let me. Okay, I'll put it this way: the introductory to both characters. I'm not talking about little Anakin. I'm talking about Hayden Christensen, Anakin, and
16-year-old
yeah.
angsty.
He's not only 16. I think he's older. I think he's like 19 because he's supposed to be like 9 in the first movie. 10 years past.
Then that would make Padme like 28.
No, Padme's supposed to be 14, and he's supposed to be 9.
It's 5 years. Not,
yeah, it's 5 years.
Yeah, not 9 years.
Yeah,
that's a little less creepy.
Yeah, because if
he was, and she was,
then no, whatever.
Math.
No, okay.
5 years, okay.
The introduction.
If he's 19, she's 24. That's okay.
The introduction to both characters is rough, I think, just because they're both a little whiny. However,
Anakin and Luke.
Yeah, they're both a little whiny.
Both in the beginning, yeah.
In the beginning, and it isn't until for one the next movie, and for the other the end of the movie. And I think that says a lot about the characters. One took 2 movies to get to the point where he was
less whiny.
Yeah, and the other one becomes the hero at the end of the other movie. But Luke starts out a little whiny, but I think just the blandness of the acting when it comes to Anakin is just so god awful.
The way he
just the way he presents. If he was, I can handle whiny.
Sorry, Master.
Yeah, it's just the sheer monotoneness of.
I can
of his
understand
voice.
that, and I'm not entirely sure why they went that way, but I still think that despite the portrayal, which I mean I guess we've already kind of both agreed on, is that if they were both before they had been made, if I came to you and I pitched you both stories, the prequels are a better movie. They're a better story. A better story.
In theory. You have to keep saying in theory.
But that's all that matters.
It's not execution. No, it's not.
That's all that matters because I can see
theory was the only thing that mattered.
And I could go, wow, these
had the
this story is really good.
They had the potential and they screwed it up. That makes it so much worse.
But everyone, like you were complaining about earlier, everyone hates the first hour and a half of Attack of the Clones.
Yes, everyone I know.
Why?
Because
it sets up everything.
Yes.
Nothing else can happen.
I'll tell you what, I don't hate the first hour and a half of Attack of the Clones. I hate the first hour and a half where Anakin is in Attack of the Clones. If it was just Obi-Wan on Kamino, that'd be a cool movie. I would be happy to see that. But no, every time there's Obi-Wan, we also have to have 5 minutes of the most
It's them
stupid...
developing the romance.
Yeah, but it's just...
You can't have the romance.
stupid.
You can't do it. You have to have the romance, because if there's no romance, Patrick Bow Wow, there's no Luke and Leia, and then there's no...
Okay, I understand you have to have the romance, but it's
if there was no romance...
It's one of the most forced romances I've ever seen.
But that's...
It's like...
Although, to be fair, when Padme first... Some of the first weird things he started to do...
Yeah, it's really stalkerish, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
it's like...
It's bad. Like, when he was 9, and she was like, "Are you an angel?" That's cute.
Yeah, but, like... If a grown man came up to you and was like, "Are you an angel?" It'd be a little...
And then when he talks about how he hasn't seen her in years, but in his dreams...
Yeah, I know, right?
It's been how many years since you've
Every
seen
moment
her?
I'm with you is like agony.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
He's trying to be Edward Cullen. Although, that came out before.
Oh my god, no! How dare you! Get out! This is over.
It's just in the same angsty, it's supposed to be very teenager-y.
Yeah, screw angst. I don't want angst in my Star Wars.
Oh my god, but you have to. He's 16.
He's not, he's 19.
It doesn't matter. He's young.
Whatever.
He's young and passionate. And he was a slave! Leave him alone! God.
Leave him alone!
Leave Anakin alone!
Okay, fine. Let's get off of Anakin.
And this is more of a matter of opinion. I like the technology in the ships and the troopers, and I like everything better in the prequels.
Okay, that's understandable because they had better technology to deal with.
However,
I will tell you right now, after watching all three in order, like back to back last night, the CGI greatly improved by the third. Like, I was looking at some of the characters in the first movie, and it was like they should have just waited to make that movie because it looked like for a video game. It was sorry. Somebody just came in. We don't have
someone else. I'm sorry.
We don't have a light on our door, so when people come in, we just have to be like, no. Anyways, what was I talking about? Hey, God, I lost my train of thought. Help me.
We were talking about
yeah, some of the characters
CGI
in the first movie look like okay for video game characters, but when you put them against live actors, it's terrible.
It's bad.
It's just the worst thing I've seen in a very long time.
No, it's awful.
Okay, thank you. At least you can admit that.
But that's not their fault.
It's technology's fault.
It's technology's fault.
Maybe they should have waited. Maybe if
but then we wouldn't be getting episode 7 for like another 5 years.
Yeah, true. It doesn't matter. What ifs are
25.
we can't talk about what ifs. We can't talk. We just have to talk about.
But
what
that's
we were
the whole
presented.
saving grace of the prequels is what if.
Exactly, and if that's just a bullshit argument.
No,
though.
it's not.
What if this happened? What if it's not? What if
it's
you are presented with a movie?
You can sit and daydream and be like, "Wow, this story is just great," and play it in your head. Just here. Close your eyes.
Okay.
And then watch the prequels.
Close your eye. Be a blind person and then go see the prequels.
Okay, all right. But 3 is not a bad movie.
3 is not.
None of them are bad films. They just look bad compared.
1
to
is
one another.
It's kind of a bad film in terms of like actual filmmaking.
But it's not like Jaws 7.
No,
bad.
but in terms of actual filmmaking, I feel like it is the most rushed of any Star Wars movies. It's like immediately okay. We're in the action, and that's fine. Let me restate that. Starting off in the action's fine. Episode 3 did that. That was fine. Other movies, I remember just this past year, Age of Ultron started out with action, and action's fine, but it starts out. I think within like the first 15 minutes of the movie, you meet like most of the characters that you're supposed to meet. Like you only get later on. You get Anakin, right?
And that's really the only character introduced. Yeah. Okay.
It's just weird pacing. If they spent more time on Naboo, maybe. And then less time on Tatooine, but then you take away that whole.
And I guess you're right. All the originals have. I mean, it's not. I mean, the pacing is good, but like it's superior to the first movie.
Yeah.
Widely by a lot.
Yes.
Because all the Star Wars movies, with the exception of 3, start out kind of slow.
Yeah.
And then they, but.
Well, I wouldn't say Episode 1 starts out slow.
One
starts out boring.
It's slow for 10 minutes,
but quick.
And then everyone's here, and then we're on Tatooine.
Yeah.
Then what? Then
it's just Tatooine for like
the pod racing scene is great. And
no,
the CGI for that.
There are instances in all of the prequels that I really really like. the pod racing scene in Episode 1, the Attack of the Clones in Attack of the Clones, a lot of the battles and the fall of the Jedi in Episode 3, they're good individually, but it's like when you put it together with the rest of the movie, it just doesn't hold a candle to the originals. And whatever. I don't have anything else to say on that.
You know what my least favorite Star Wars movie is?
Don't.
We're going to watch it today.
What is it?
Return of the Jedi.
Why?
Alright.
Okay.
Don't say anything. There's like 3 reasons.
Okay. And I will deconstruct your reasons.
The Ewoks.
Okay.
I mean, like, you could have come up with any alien. You had full creative
that is
license.
True. That was key.
You came up with teddy bears.
Yes,
that were played by children.
And little people.
Wait, nope.
Okay, nope. All right.
Luke is in no way the same character he was for 4 and 5 at all.
How so?
Not the same guy.
How so?
He has lost all of his youthfulness.
Yeah, because it's like 4 years past.
Which is maybe part of the age, whatever.
Yeah, and he's become a Jedi,
and he realizes
training
Darth
with Yoda.
Vader is his father, and he had his hand cut off.
He's become a mature adult.
But it's not mature adult. It's like depressed. It's like us when we realize that it's no college anymore, and we have to go out and figure out jobs and life.
Yeah, that's real life. Welcome to real life.
That's depressing. That's not. But it's not.
Luke becomes an adult. Anakin becomes just an angsty robot. Okay,
okay, that
he never grows up.
And I hate the way it ends.
You hate the way it ends?
I hate the way it ends.
Well, from the new movie, we're going to learn that it didn't end exactly how we thought it was going to end.
Quite the way we thought it was going to end.
Which I'm excited about. Because I kind of agree with you. The ending for...
There's not enough closure.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, we're done.
I mean, it's good the war is over. I mean, cool, but show me...
But is the war really over?
Yeah.
You know, they recently released a comic that's like Tales After Endor.
Is it canon?
It is, because it's been released since Disney bought them. It's by Marvel. That talks about all that stuff. And it's like the days after the Battle of Endor. Anyways.
Oh, wait, I have another problem with the prequels. I mean, the originals. Alderaan. We're supposed to care about Alderaan. We don't.
And that's part of the prequels problem. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
If they had listen, if they had set Naboo instead of Naboo, they made it Alderaan. We would have cared so much more for Alderaan.
But it's the original's fault that we didn't care about Alderaan in the first place.
Well, it's one of your main characters' homeworlds, and like you see her.
There's not even a cut of Alderaan in the original.
Right. That's understandable, but they could have fixed that in the prequels.
And Alderaan's like an Earth-like planet. All they had to do was like call National Geographic and get some wide shots of something. And then maybe we would have been like, oh wow, that's like...
So you want a scene...
That's like our home.
You want a scene of just an Alderaanite, I don't know what they're called, just looking up and be like, what's that green thing in the sky? And then just blowing up the planet.
That would have been hilarious. But... What I more would have preferred would be...
What I more would have preferred?
What I would have preferred more...
Yeah.
What's the English...
I don't know. It's fine. You're good. People understand.
Anyways, is some kind of scene where they get word that Princess Leia has been captured and they're concerned. And Senator Organa, who we are later introduced to in the prequels, is like, wow, my adopted daughter.
Yeah. We can't say adopted daughter
yet. Yeah, you can't say that yet. But just, I don't know. I didn't care.
Okay, that's fine. Let me go back to Ewoks real quick. Because Ewoks represent a warning.
Failure.
No, they represent a warning for Star Wars fans of what was to come.
Oh, of the Gungans? Gungans are superior aliens to... If Gungans and Ewoks got in a fight, Gungans would win. Yes. They're little freaking teddy bears.
Who defeated the Empire?
With the rebels. It doesn't even...
Let me put it this way.
Something else.
Let me put it this way. George Lucas, the reason he originally wanted that to be set on Kashyyyk, which would have been...
With the Wookiees,
way superior.
That would have been awesome.
It would have been awesome. I don't think the technology was there to have a bunch of Wookiees. Right? It was probably cheaper to make little Ewoks. Also, he was thinking about merchandising. Okay? Merchandising! It's all about the...
Yeah, and he returned...
We got the Spaceballs, the t-shirt.
All merchandising rights. Smartest move ever by any man.
Anyways, so yeah, he was basically wanting to make toys. That's the reason he made the Ewoks. I do not like the Ewoks. I can admit the flaws in the original trilogy.
Although the saddest moment in the original movies is from the Ewoks.
Yeah.
When the baby Ewok and the mama Ewok are trying to run away.
I think that's the only time you see somebody like... I don't want to say die on screen because a lot of people die, but it's the first time you see like somebody care about somebody else dying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like you see a bunch of pilots fry. You see a bunch of.
Is that like a?
That's a nod
is that
to
a?
this,
Is that a?
to the song. Anyways, a bunch of pilots fry. You got stormtroopers kicking the bucket. An entire space
Star.
station of people.
Whole
blows up.
world.
Yeah, exactly. Whole world.
Yeah,
but,
that's the other thing.
but
Leia doesn't care.
She's probably in shock.
In the one scene, she's like, and then that's it. And then when Luke walks in, she's like, "Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?" So now she's making snide remarks, even though everyone she's ever known is dead.
Well, how would you react to that situation?
Cry, probably.
She probably spent a lot of off-screen time crying. I would imagine. We can't look into what ifs again though. We have to look at the movie as they were presented.
Another problem with the originals that I hate. They kill off what could have potentially been a great villain. Tarkin.
Grand Moff Tarkin?
Yeah. He's dead which his death is cool because he has too much confidence in the Empire because he doesn't evacuate. But
yeah. You want to talk about killing off bad guys though? You really want to go there?
Darth Maul?
Because Darth Maul had
Mm.
every episode in the prequels has a villain. They don't need
different villain.
You don't need that. You could have had one villain like Darth Vader throughout the entire thing, and Maul could have. Yeah, but so is the Emperor's also in the originals. There's always a rule of two, right? I would have preferred, I'm cool with Maul kicking the bucket because we're not really attached to him at all. Dooku though was really cool. I liked Dooku, and you pointed out something yesterday when we were watching the films when he literally just tells Obi-Wan what's going on, and Obi-Wan's like, nah, I don't believe you, which is that's a great scene. But if they had just kept Dooku instead of Grievous, whatever. Who is a cool character, but not...
He's not there long enough for us to actually kill him.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the gravitas of Dooku.
No.
And I understand killing Dooku brings Anakin to the dark side, whatever. Doesn't matter. Dooku should have lasted longer.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I like about
what should have happened
the Clone
to me,
Wars TV show, is that Dooku is the main villain in that.
Yeah.
And anyway, sorry.
What I would have liked is if in the scene where they end up killing Dooku, which I kind of understand because it's a juxtaposed from the last movie where they lost, but spoiler alert. Grievous should have been Count Dooku in that scene, and they should have killed Grievous because then we wouldn't have cared. Grievous, although I guess then we would have had him for 5 minutes and we would, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, also it wouldn't have been
I wish
he as human.
I wish Count Dooku would have lasted. You're right. He was in the movie for 15 minutes.
So basically what we're saying here is both sets of movies have flaws.
Problems.
I think the flaws in the prequels greatly outweigh the greatness.
And I disagree.
In the prequels, and I think the greatness in the originals. Yeah.
I say I disagree. But
come on,
people
man.
are allowed to have different opinions.
Battle of Hoth.
Battle of Hoth is great.
It's so cool. And
is it though?
It is.
Robot camels. That's the best they could. In a universe where hovering technology is totally plausible.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they needed to sell toys.
Did they?
Yeah.
And hovering
wasn't a technology they had yet, so they could tell kids to just move the legs by themselves.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
I just mean in all practical sense.
It
doesn't make sense.
Well, all-terrain not vehicles, but machines like that are currently being made by the U.S. military. They have that dog machine that walks on 4 legs. That's used for climbing things.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think the AT-ATs could climb things.
We don't see Abrams.
Abrams? Oh, tanks.
The tanks.
I thought you were talking about JJ. I almost said Jar Jar.
We don't see JJ Jar Jar Abrams. That's what JJ stands for. That's why they got JJ Abrams to direct. No, you'd probably kill him. So.
Yeah, when you said Abrams, I was like, what is he doing? What is he? Climbing trees? What?
JJ Abrams in a forest with a bunch of Ewoks.
Anyways,
George Lucas has a bunch of mutated pet monkeys that are actually Ewoks. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fact.
Good to know.
Yeah. No, that's not true.
Heard here, first time.
If it is, though, I want to hang out with you, George Lucas.
Anyways, I guess this debate is not going to end with one of us seeing the light in each other's arguments, because I think we're both very steadfast fans of different film trilogies. But
the point is that we love all 6 movies.
Yeah, I still enjoy watching the prequels and laughing at the flaws and being awestruck by the visuals in the battles and stuff, and liking Obi-Wan. I really like Obi-Wan. I like Padme. Padme's a good character too. Yeah, Natalie Portman, I think. See, that's another thing that makes me think that the terrible acting in those movies had a lot to do with the director and not the actors themselves.
You don't like Padme's lines either?
Yeah, and Natalie Portman's a great actress. We've seen her in a lot of stuff where she's brilliant, but still not very good in Star Wars, in my opinion. But yeah, anyways. I don't know where to go with this. It's kind of like we've just been talking in circles and like, I like this, you like this. Yeah, we're not gonna convince anybody.
No matter who you are.
Yeah, you know what you like, and
there are merits to both movies. The simple fact is that if you're like me and enjoy the prequels more than the originals, is that we're highly outnumbered.
Vast minority.
Yeah. The rest of the world, even people who have never seen Star Wars, if asked, will say they like the originals better than the prequels because they know that the mob mentality is that the originals are better.
The mob mentality, though, I mean, if we're right, does it really matter?
No. I guess if you're right, it's not right. Okay. All right. We've had this conversation separately. Rank all 6 movies, regardless.
Easy. 5, 4, 6, and 3 are tied.
Nope, no ties.
Okay, then 6 and then 3. And then...
What?
4. Okay, 5, 4, 6, 3, 2, 1. That's my
5,
ranking.
4, 6, 3, 2, 1.
2, 1, yeah. That's my ranking. I'm sticking with it. And because you couldn't let me tie. That's why.
All right. 3.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
2.
All right.
5.
I don't know how to feel about that. But continue.
1. 6.
You really gonna put 5 before 2?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, you mean 2 before 5?
What?
2 before 5.
I mean, no, in like least.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Josh.
What?
Sand.
To me,
it's course.
5 is beautiful.
It's a great
5
film.
is a great movie.
Yeah.
4 is better.
4 is better than 5?
4 is better than 5.
No, 5 is
no.
no.
4 is better than 5.
How?
4 is better than 5.
How?
Because it's the original. It's the first. It's the dad of everything.
And I love it too, but 5 is a superior movie.
4 is the only movie that goes full circle. That has a conflict, a resolution, and a conclusion.
Because they didn't know if they were going to get...
Exactly, and that's why it's better than 5.
All right, whatever.
Why is 2 better than 5? Because it sets up the romance.
I don't know if you can call that a
they
romance.
They get married.
I don't know if you can call that a romance.
They get married.
Yeah, and at the last 3 seconds of the film, it's like, oh, what's this? Oh, they're married? Oh, end credits. Cool.
Anakin's turn to the dark side becomes more... I mean, it's pretty... You can predict that it's happening. I mean...
Obviously, you can predict because he's Anakin Skywalker.
If what I was saying is if I had seen if I was watching them in order, and I had seen 1 and then 2, and I had never seen 4, 5, and 6.
Can we talk about in the last 2 minutes how stupid Anakin is when basically the Emperor has told him various times that, hey, I'm a Sith Lord, and he's like, really though? like when he's sitting in episode 3 when they're sitting watching the whatever play that they're watching, and he's basically like, dude, the dark side's pretty cool, man. You can save your wife and all that jazz, and he's like,
all that jazz.
And Anakin's like, that's a good point. That's a good point. And not once is he like, what? Like,
yeah. If Family Guy had gone back and done the prequels, what?
And then I don't.
Who would they
know.
Get to play?
And his fall to darkness is so quick. I mean, I understand, like, if you count the killing all the Tusken Raiders, and it's a slow build-up into that point, but
and then he goes and kills kids.
1 minute, he's like, I'm going to turn you into the Jedi Council. The next minute, he's pushing, Mace Windu out the window. He doesn't push Mace Windu out the window. What does he do again? Does he stop the lightsaber?
He cuts off his arm.
He cuts off his arm, yeah. And then he, unlimited power, hits him out the window.
Unlimited power!
Unlimited power!
I will make it legal. My defense for that...
The Emperor is cool. The Emperor is actually pretty cool. I will give you that. In the prequels, the Emperor has a lot more to do.
Yeah.
Continue, sorry.
My defense against that is that... Yeah, he's pretty stupid. But But is key here. Anakin has not trusted the Jedi since he was 9.
What?
Yes.
Explain that.
Yes.
How so?
Ever since Obi-Wan started bringing him up, you can clearly see it's the little sows of dissent.
He kind of idolizes the Jedi in the beginning.
Qui-Gon, and then Qui-Gon dies.
Yeah.
And his master is someone who hated him.
He didn't hate him.
Sorry, what did he call him when they first before they even met, actually? When Qui-Gon was like, hey, we're bringing a little kid.
I don't know.
It's like, it's a pathetic life form. The only reason Obi-Wan trains...
He didn't call him a pathetic life form when he knew he was a little kid. He was... I think he thought they were going to bring on another Jar Jar.
Another Jar Jar. Tatooine Jar Jar.
Which is, yeah.
Undersand villages. But clearly you can see the conflict that he ends up having between the Chancellor, who has befriended him his whole life.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan and the Jedi, who Obi-Wan has been his mentor, but he's always... Obi-Wan's trying to be a good mentor, but he's not a good friend. And I think that makes...
No, when?
Huh?
When?
Every time he... Well, even Anakin
Obi-Wan,
says...
yeah.
Obi-Wan's holding me back.
Yeah, he wrongly says so. Obi-Wan is trying to be... Obi-Wan is probably the greatest friend Anakin has.
Anakin
he
doesn't
vouches
see it that
for
way.
him literally up until the point when he sees him murdering children. Okay?
That's yeah, but Anakin doesn't see it that way, is what I'm saying.
And because Anakin doesn't see it, that means you should see it that way?
No, well, yeah, because you have to understand how the character feels.
Yeah, but you don't have to think the same way a character thinks.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, whatever.
What I'm saying is the reason that he tries to ignore the fact... Maybe not ignore, but be blind to the fact that he's a Sith Lord is because he doesn't... He idolizes Palpatine more than he... Because he doesn't trust the Jedi. He's on the council, but he's not a master.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Everyone is like, wow, Anakin, you're kind of a badass, but we don't trust you to put you in a
By
position
the way,
of power.
why did they even let him be on the council? Like, in the first place, if I was on the Jedi Council and somebody was like, hey, the Chancellor wants me to be on this, I'd be like, no. Like, we're our own little separate government here. We don't listen to him. You go away. Like, why would they even let that happen?
Because he's the chosen one.
Whatever. All right.
He's Jesus.
He is kind of, yeah, born by the Force.
Yeah, he's... no! It's the Immaculate Conception, and then he goes and he's supposed to bring balance. He's supposed to defeat evil. But then he's like, nah, I need to save my wife, which is a totally human emotion.
Yeah.
Killing kids isn't.
I'm gonna kill these kids so I can save my wife.
See, that's the only thing that kind of throws me, and even I, who loved prequels so much, and the third one is my favorite Star Wars movie. The fact that Anakin, originally his intentions are super pure, and he just wants to save Padme, which is totally human. You can totally relate to that. But then, you're right, his turn to the dark side is super quick. Like, because I still support the Tusken Raider. I mean, that's still part of the dark side. He's getting there. But just the way his face turned, I mean, it was too quick. And how he originally, immediately just pledged down, and even his voice changed. I don't know why Hayden Christensen did that. It pisses me off so bad. But going in and Hayden, sorry. I guess they had to kill all the Jedi because there aren't any Jedi in the later movies.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. But in reality, I don't think that if they were just working from scratch and the original movies didn't exist, I think it would have been way more plausible for him to say, go to the Jedi Temple, report that the Council... Well, you know what I mean. Go in and try and convert people instead of murder everyone.
Okay. Yeah, like you said last night, what if Anakin just completely mistook the Emperor's wishes, and by the time he got there and started killing people, the Emperor was like, ah, shit. Okay, execute Order 66.
Yeah. Do it now. It's too late.
It's too late. Because this asshole over here did not understand what I meant.
My only counter-argument to my own argument is that Rule of Two, which I think could have been bypassed. Because Rule of Two only exists because of the original movies, and then people wrote it in. And...
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's a cool thing, though. Yeah. All right, we're running out of time here. I suggest we wrap it up.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't really actually done anything to say why I liked the
well, it's because you've been attacking the prequels.
Yeah, well, that's my job here.
Because instead of defending the
I
originals,
am the prosecuting
it's
attorney.
to
You are the defense. Okay.
I suppose that the world would agree with you.
To me, I think it boils down to just a simple charm that they have that I think is lost in the really dumb humor in some of the in the prequels, as well as the just, in my opinion, flat acting from a lot of people. I think there's better actors in the originals. Everyone from Grand Moff Tarkin to, you know, Han Solo, you know, some of those people are like Alec Guinness, well respected
Actors.
people before they even, you know, before Star Wars.
Natalie Portman was in a couple movies before she was in.
Yeah, she was in League of the Professional, but that's the only thing I can think of. But anyways,
She was in Black Swan.
that was way after.
That was way after.
Way after.
Well, it wasn't way after 3.
It was like a good 4 years.
That's not way. That's not a long time.
Whatever. Anyways,
Still hot.
to me, it just 10 out of 10. To me, it just boils down to
10 out of 10.
there's a
force joke again. Dressed up as Batman.
it boils down to just a simple charm that the originals have, and I don't know. It's that thing where, like, you know, you like something, I know I like something. You can't really explain it other than the fact that you personally believe the stories are better and that the execution is better.
Yeah.
I think it was just also I think it also boils down to that by the time the originals came out, George Lucas was basically a god, so nobody would say to him, "Hey, buddy, maybe we should rethink this." Whereas in the original ones, he probably had a lot of people, you know, consulting with him on what to do. And like episode 5, I don't think was even directed by him, you know. So it's I'm not blaming him. He gave us one of my favorite things of all time, but you know, ultimate power corrupts.
Yeah.
That's what the Emperor kind of stands for, and I think that's George Lucas.
Someone else I think we should...
he had ultimate power in it, and he corrupted the films.
Someone we should be pissed at is Disney.
Why?
Because they've destroyed all of our
They've
video
destroyed,
games.
yeah. We can end
Why? It happens... Disney. The Old Republic takes place thousands of years.
4,000 years.
before.
Let us have that. That's my favorite Star Wars era, is the Old Republic.
And they're still releasing content for it.
Yeah.
But now it's not...
I don't know. We can't get into that discussion. All we can say is that from our points of view, that is the best Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh no.
Is
If
the
that's
Old
a totally
Yeah,
different
we are
argument.
on
The Old Republic
par with
is superior to all the movies. Maybe that's just because it's a game and we could like make our own.
Well, we're talking about Knights of the Republic,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the Old Republic
Not
video game.
Yeah. That's
but
good
also,
too.
it's an okay game, but also just the there's been comics and books and stuff written in that, and it's just it's a bigger universe.
Yeah.
Which is cool to me, and you have lots of Sith and lots of Jedi fighting each other, and it feels more like I don't know if it would even translate itself well into a movie.
Yeah.
It's just a bigger, more expansive universe that I really like. All right, we gotta wrap it up. Yeah. I'm sorry. We're gonna be seeing episode 7, which I genuinely hope it's better than all the other Star Wars. I genuinely do. I want this to be a great movie, and I want you to finally admit that something better than the prequels can be made.
Well, that's going to be tough. 3 is going to be tough to unseat.
Right.
But hey, now we're going to have a whole nother trilogy for people to side with.
Yeah, we can have another person.
We're
here.
gonna have to get a third friend.
We don't have other friends. Anyways, all right. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, Josh and Ethan. Enjoy, everybody.
Yeah, may the force be with you, always.